Hi guys, my name is Lara Kudaisi and I am the matchmaking mistress. So today I'm back with another video. Yeah, it's been a while and I'm so excited about this, video that I'm starting all over after a long while, So and today I'm looking all, African, all pretty, all now. You know how this thing works, and I'm actually crushing on myself. So after crushing on myself, let me quickly go to the topic of today, which is how your parents' marriage can affect your marriage. How your parents' marriage can affect your marriage. I get a lot of people who come from a broken home, for instance, and they got married and they divorce. So people are saying maybe it could be a generational curse, it could be this, it could be that, or maybe there's a family where the father abuses the mother, there's domestic abuse, and then the child or the daughter marries and her husband is hitting her, or the son is hitting his wife, and people are saying it's a generational curse. You know how Nigerians are, or Africans generally, things that we don't understand, we tend to mystify it. We tend to paint it as a mystery, so what I'd like to tell you today is that, well, I'm not saying generational curses are not real, but these things, at least these two examples I've given you, they have nothing to do with curses at all. They're not generational curses, and I'm going to be explaining that to you in this video. So just stay with me. There is an 80%, yes, 80% chance that your marriage or relationships will end up like your parents. Yes, and I'm going to explain to you why, or how. As a therapist and in neuro-linguistic programming, when you are just giving birth to, as a child, I've shared it in different places, so if you've never heard it before, so just follow me. So when you just when you're giving birth to as a child, you come into that family, or you come to this world almost empty. What you have is your personality, whether you're an introvert or you're an extrovert. So when you come to this world, you come to a family, and let's say my name is Kudaisi. So let's say you're born into the Kudaisi family. Everything you have become today, or most of the things you have become today, is learned from the Kudaisi family, or from the family that you were born into. Psychologist says behaviors are learned. Behaviors are learned, and it is subconscious. It is not that your father will, call you and say, "Hey, Babatunde, this is how things are done." Yeah, they can do that, but in fact, most of the time, that really doesn't work like the subconscious one. So when they give birth to you into that family, you tend to learn from them subconsciously. If your father is hitting your mother, you are learning as a child, if you're a guy, that, oppression, if you want to oppress a woman to submission, this is how love is. You're learning as a child subconsciously that love is violent. If you're also a woman and the mother is, let's say your mother gets beaten and she just doesn't talk, she's calm, she's been, beaten into submission, she's been coerced into silence, as a woman or as a girl child, it is possible that you will end up that way, because subconsciously your mind has been wired. Your mind has been wired that this is what love is about. This is what love is about. And let me shock you today, in case you don't know, our lives is controlled by our subconscious. 90% of our behaviors, 90% of our patterns, 90% of our decisions are controlled by our subconscious. Yes, it is only 10% that is consciously decided or consciously behaved. Why do you think that people get angry, or people do stuff and, eventually when they finish doing it, they're crying, they're like, "God, I told you I don't want this again, take this thing away from me." Some people have determined, some people have vowed, some people have done covenant, some people have written it down as a goal. I will not get angry, I will not spend money this way, I will not do this thing this way. And, they end up doing it. Why? It's because your life is running on an autopilot. It is. Because you have learned this thing as a child. So when you learn that love is violent, even though you can say it with your mother, no, I cannot be with somebody that will be beating me the way they beat my mother, there is every tendency that you will be attracting somebody that is beating you if you're a girl. There is every tendency that as a man, you may be beating your wife. Mark my words, might, could. There's no 100%, assurance or declaration. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Except there's an intervention or something is stopped in between, you will keep attracting a relationship or a marriage like your parents. So that is childhood, number one. Environment also affects you. Where you grew up, maybe your school, maybe your aunties, your uncles, what they told you that love is about, and sometimes it's not even what they told you, it's what you've seen. I know somebody who has this fear of marriage, not even from her parents' marriage, it's because of her uncles, I think, or something, or aunties or something, and she said that is what is predominant around her in her environment, and subconsciously she has imbibed these things. Subconsciously she has learned this thing, that this is what relationship is about. And do you know what? She kept attracting guys that was beating her. She kept attracting relationship that is tumultuous. She kept attracting, relationship that is just a tussle. Your environment has a lot has a lot to play. It is not a curse. It is not that in our family, the men used to beat the women. No, it is not that. It is just a simple law of what you behold, you become. What you behold, you become. If you see something every day of your mind, subconsciously you will conform to that thing. That's why we always say evil communications corrupt good manners. If you don't want to be like some people, don't move with them, don't walk with them, don't expose your mind, or to certain things. If you know you don't want to have those things, because what you behold, you become. That's number two. I talked about childhood. I talked about your environment. So your environment also means that if you grew up in a place, or if you went to a boarding school where they're always beating people or something, it will affect you. The third one is called significant emotional experiences. Significant emotional experiences has to do with experiences that we've gone through emotionally and has affected us one way or the other. For some people, it could be rape. For some people, it could be divorce. For some people, it could be molestation. For some people, it could be heartbreak. For some people, it could be, pregnancy, or something that just changed the course of your life. You understand? My significant emotional experience, in case you don't know my story, let me just share my story with you. Not sure, almost everybody knows it, is that I had a child at 19. I had 14 heartbreaks and then 15 abortions before I got married. Yeah. So my significant emotional experiences was that I got pregnant. And then after I had the child, after I had the baby, my dad told me that, well, at first he didn't even want to be. He told me he doesn't want to see me. Eventually, when he realized that there's no way I'm going to go, he told me to come home, because I was in school when I had my child. I didn't come home. He forbade me from coming home. So even during the holidays, I was in school. So eventually when he allowed me to come home with the baby, he told me, I did not send you to go and get pregnant. So you have to fend for this baby on your own. And do you know that? So because of that, at 19, I started working, started paying tuition, started buying diapers, started paying school fees. And, because of this, there are advantages and then there are disadvantages. Because of that, now I'm just 34, I'm going to be 35, but I know how to make money. Like, money is not a big deal. Hustling is not a big deal to me. Struggling, like, I don't have to wait for any man or anybody to make money. I'm this woman of my own. I can do things, I can do stuff, which is pretty good. But the negative aspect of that is that I grew up to become, this aggressive alpha female, because I have had to hustle. I started hustling at a very young age when all my mates were back in school, because I had my child when I was doing my OND. You know, so my mates went back for their HND full-time. I couldn't do full-time, so I had to go back for part-time. That was like 2 years even after I started working, you know, and after that I could pay my fees and also work and take care of my daughter, you know. So I learned to be this independent, like too independent, and I won't lie to you, it was affecting my relationships. People were breaking up with me. In fact, I remember one of my exes told me after we broke up and then we now became friends later on, he said, Lara, the reason why I broke up with you was because you were a man. That's my own significant emotional experiences, you know. So the guy told me he couldn't stay with me because a man cannot marry a man. He doesn't want to marry a man. You know, I needed to be feminine, but I didn't know how to be, because I could be struggling with generator cleaning plugs, I could be changing bulbs, I could be doing this. So I didn't know how to need a man. I was so you know, out there, so pushy, so forceful, you know, and that, in fact, hence the 14 heartbreaks. It took me a lot of intervention, a lot of therapy before, you know, I could, you know, actually learn to be more feminine, to bring out my feminine side. That's what significant emotional experience does, you know, do to people. For some people, it was rape. Somebody got raped, and that's the end. I've shared this also before. Most times there are two reactions to rape. For some people, when they get raped, they shut down, depending on their personality. Most times, introverts shut down. Like they don't even want to marry. They don't want men. They are not interested. They become frigid, angry, bitter. You will see them. In fact, some people are the ones shouting feminism up and down because they are bitter. Not everybody. Before you go and quote me, I'm just saying. You know, so that's one reaction. Another reaction is if the person is probably an extrovert or somebody who is out there. You know, they can just subconsciously subconsciously determine that, or decide that maybe they are people taking it from me forcefully. Let me be giving everybody, and that woman can become a nymphomaniac, can become, you know, a prostitute, or just distributing the thing up and down. The people are angry. What's your problem? Blah 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 blah. You know, so these are ways, or these are the reasons why your marriage or your relationships can end up like your parents. But the good news is that you can stop it. You can stop it if you see a therapist. A therapist will help you find out the patterns. A therapist will help you go back to your past. A therapist will, because, you know, some people pray is good. It's good. Yeah, some people use it. Some people pray, God, I don't want my parents' mind to be like my own, blah, blah. Well, it's good. But prayer alone is not enough. Because it took you like 35 years to learn to be the way you are now. You have to unlearn them, and it takes some processes. And then the best change comes with your subconscious. It's not a matter of decision. So have you not seen some people who decide, I'm not going to beat my wife. My father always beats my wife. I'm not going to beat my wife. In fact, I know a man whose father was always beating his wife, and he decided. He said once he beat his girlfriend once or twice, but he now told his wife that he will never beat his wife. You know, and he didn't beat her. But there was one day they were talking, and so he said they were talking about somebody beating their wives, and then he was bragging with, you know, to his wife that after all, I don't beat you, I don't. And then the woman said, the words you use on me, I would rather you beat me. He was in shock. He said he like the thing, like, and the man was like, which words? She started telling him, and they wrote it down. They were the same exact words that his father used to use on his mother. This thing is not jazz, guys. You need a disruption in your pattern. That pattern is going to disempower you. You need a disruption. That's why you can contact me, you know, at my email, omolarakudaisi. That is omolarakudaisi@gmail.com, or call me on 080-606-55460, or follow me on all my social media handles at Larakudaisi, and that is LARAKUDAYISI. Or just visit my website. You will see so many free videos that you can watch. You see so many free articles on these things I'm talking about. You will see how I can also help you, or how, you know, you can partake of, you know, my services. Yes. So my website is www.larakudaisi.com, and that is LARAKUDAYISI. K-U-D-A-Y-I-S-I. Thank you so much for joining me. Share this video if it has helped you. It is never too late to live happily ever after. Bye for now.